Hello and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is the B-Movie review and I'll be having a look at the movie Death Hunter, Werewolves vs Vampires. So let's start off by saying this film is extremely low budget. Now we've seen these kind of werewolf versus vampires quite a lot in kind of modern cinema, most notably from the Underworld series, but that's kind of translated to the sort of the lesser budget B-movie films as well. And really this film focuses on a man whose wife is killed by a kind of gang of vampires, and he himself becomes infected with a kind of werewolf lichen virus basically, and uses that to sort of fight both other werewolves and the vampires themselves who sort of killed his family, and kind of go up against this vampire lord. That's pretty much just kind of standard plot like you'd imagine to see from these kind of films, and they're certainly not going to win any sort of awards for being an original plot here. Now I have to say this film is not bad in regards to what it wants to do, but unfortunately its budget is just so low it can't come anywhere near sort of fulfilling what it wants to do to what we actually see on screen. So everything about this film is particularly cheap. The way it's shot, it kind of looks like one of these just kind of like handheld, filmed on a phone, that type of thing. And very low production values. The vampire makeup is very sort of cheap looking. I actually think they maybe go a little bit too far sometimes in trying to kind of make these vampires look sort of horrific and stuff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Buffy, the way the vampires look in this film. I think they would have been better kind of scaling back and the kind of like the horrificness of these, the way the vampires look, and kind of to try and make them a little bit more subtle. I think that may have worked a little bit better. The werewolves themselves, one thing I kind of did like about it is that we're sort of told that the werewolves the actual werewolf virus as such affects people differently. So some people are kind of more bestial, whilst other sort of people who are affected are kind of more humanoid. So I kind of like that in a way that it's kind of maybe you can sort of see some variation within the sort of the werewolf species itself, which I think was quite a good idea. But unfortunately, like I said, there's nothing really that the budget can make of this film that looks any good on screen. Unfortunately, it just looks so bad. A lot of the actual action is actually sort of filmed on green screen, and very obviously so as well, particularly sort of towards the end. The acting is just so sort of hammy and cheesy and over the top. I guess the main guy is sort of a fairly likeable sort of character, and he's probably the best actor out of all of them here. But generally speaking, pretty much all of the supporting cast are pretty poor in regard to their acting, and it just looks like sort of low budget sort of stage acting, if you know what I mean. They're kind of on a sort of local play you might go and see, for example, something along the lines of that. So there's a couple of like maybe kind of good ideas here, but ultimately the execution, and I think mainly because it's hampered by such a low budget, and particularly it's not a very original film on top of that. So unfortunately it's not a particularly fun film to watch, and it's a bit of a chore to sit through because it is such a low budget film. Some good ideas, however. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? Let me know what you thought of it. Bye for now.